Welcome you all. So in the last session, we were discussing about the introduction to Python essentials, overview, history, characteristics, different variations of Python, and installation of Python and its applications. Right. Now it is time to start writing some real working Python codes. It will be very simple for the time being. And as we are going to work with some fundamental concepts and terms, these snippets, the code of won't be a big, won't be a serious or a complex one. Fine. Let us start with the print function. Okay. Before print function, I hope you have understood and installed Python as well as the PyCharm editor. After the installation is successfully done, okay, to create a first Python to open the application, so you need to click the editor. You can see the introductory scene for PyCharm. And to create a new project, it is important to have the selection of create a new project options. Then you can select the location where you want to project to be created, stored, and accessed. Right. If you don't want to change the location, then by default it will be saved in the first project. Right. As I mentioned in the previous session, I hope you remember, PyCharm should have found in Python interpreter. Okay, PyCharm will be available and have connected automatically with the interpreter, which we have installed earlier. So first, it is important to install the Python interpreter. Next, the PyCharm editor, IDE, right? So once charm is done, it will search for the source file and the connectivity between will be carried out automatically. So PyCharm will have the availability of all the source file, exe file, and supporting files which we had installed earlier. Okay, next we select the create button and click the file menu and select new. We have options and it is important to pick the correct options, that is Python file, right? And a pop-up will appear. Now type the name of the file you want to hit. Okay, I want to create and hit OK. Right. So as we had also seen, before a file is executed, it is mandatory. It must be stored. It must be saved. So the Python, the file should have a valid name, okay, identifier, and after that selecting OK, we have the simple program created. Okay, so after typing the statement snippets, run to execute the program, and you will get the output. If the instructions, statements are correct. In case of errors, then that will be highlighted. After debugging, then we'll check the output. Fine. Let us begin with the print function. Open the PyCharm editor. Right. Okay, PyCharm editor I have opened, and the versions can be found. The details of the editor could be checked with the help menu, PyCharm 2021.2 Community Edition, which is an open source. Okay, and for the purpose of learning and understanding, and this community edition will be more appropriate, comfortable, right? Fine. Any updates will be informed. Check for updates. So we have a alert will be displayed at the right bottom of the screen. New updates available. By clicking them, we can update the recent update the requirement libraries, DLL files, support files. All will be done appropriately. Fine. Let us begin with the print function. Right. The print simple function starts with the keyword. Okay. Print. Right. I'll type the code in the editor. Print. Welcome. Welcome to the Python programming. Okay. right? As you see, the different components of the function, I mean the program. So the program, this statement, print, welcome to Python programming, consists of 6 parts. Kindly note, this print function consists of minimum 6 parts. Number 1, the keyword print, the keyword reserved word print, right? And then we have an open parenthesis, we have a double quote, quotation marks, a line of text, okay, text, a group of character strings. Then we have another quote, double quote, quotation mark, right? Another double quotation mark, and finally we have a closing parenthesis. So altogether, a simple print statement consists of 6 parts. The keyword print, open parenthesis, okay, a double quote, the statement, the line of text, another quotation mark, and a closing parenthesis. So please note, each part plays a very important role. Each part in the print function plays a very important role in the code. The word print that we have, see, here is a function name. Print represents the print function name. Python's function, however, are more flexible and able to cause some effect. Okay, that means send the text to the terminal, create a file, draw an image, we can play a sound, and so on. So a number of functions are supported with the printer, right? Number 2, it may cause some effect. Okay, that is send the file to the terminal, create a file, and so on. Evaluate a value or some values. The print function could be also used to manipulate the statements, apply the formulas. For example, the square root of a value or the length of the given text. So each part in the function plays an important role in the code. Okay. And as I said, print represents a function, and any function in Python are more flexible and they are able to cause some effect, evaluate a value or some values and display the result. Okay. Now, where do these functions come from? So I have taken the simple example print. We have a number of functions, standard functions, predefined functions, library functions, and all. Where do these functions come from? Number 1, the functions come from Python itself. Okay, so for example, print is one of this kind. Such a function is an added value received together with Python and its environment. So such functions are called built-in functions. Number 2, some functions may come from one or more of Python adds-on named modules. Okay, so we can add, we can include, we can append in the form of modules. Okay, so some functions may come from one or more Python's adds-on. They are called modules. Some modules come with Python and some others may require a separate installation. Whatever the case, they all need to explicitly connected with our code. Okay, so we have inbuilt modules, adds-on, and we can also download and install from other sources because Python is open source language which is compatible with all the operating systems. Any new modules, okay, any modules which are not supported in the Python could be added with the help of adds-on feature, right? Number 3, we can write them ourselves, user-defined function, right? So those functions could be placed inside the program to make the completion of it. Okay, so Python comes from 3 places. So one, itself, Python itself. Second, adds-on, which are called modules. And the third, user-defined functions. So these features make the Python as a simpler, clearer, and more elegant language. So Python is a simple, clear, and more elegant language. Hope you have understood the concepts of a print function. Okay, so Python functions are more flexible and they are able to, when it is defined, they are able to cause some effect, number one, and evaluate the value or more than one values. And these functions are defined, okay, by inbuilt functions, built-in functions, adds-on named modules, or user-defined functions. So all these features make Python a simple, clear, and more elegant language. Okay, right? So now let us run the program. How to run the program? There are many ways to execute. Kindly note, Python is an interpreter language and case-sensitive language. There is a difference between uppercase and lowercase. Is it clear? Python is a case-sensitive language. So the lower p character is different from the uppercase p. It's a case-sensitive language. Now, how to run the program? So, as I said, there are many ways to run the program. Okay, I'll explain one by one. We can select from the menu. Could you see File, Edit, View, Navigate, Code, Refactor, Run. This is one option. Okay, Run. As you could see, you have a pull-down menu, and the first option is Run 1. This is nothing but the file name. The file name is 1.py, right? So we can, from the menu bar, select Run and click Run. As you could see, the output is displayed in the lower compartment. So this output could be stretched. We can stretch up and down according to our convenience. If you want to check the highest outputs, then we can stretch up and down. It is stretchable. We can expand the window up and down. The compartment, output compartment could be extended, okay, or reduced. The size could be reduced according to the input. Right? The output by default will be displayed at the lower compartment. Welcome to the programming. This is the one option. The first option is select the run menu and click the run option, right? We have a shortcut key called Shift F10 that is also used to run. That's the number one option. And the second option, could you see the green button, the reverse triangle? Okay. So as I bring the cursor near to the green colored reverse triangle, it changes to gray color, gray. It turns to gray. Is it visible? Could you notice the movement of the cursor? Okay. So this is also used to run the program. This is the second option. First option is select the menu, run command, and click the run option. The next option is directly we can have the selection of the icon run, right? The third option. So as you could see, the name of the Python file 1.py, is it 1.py? Right click 1.py and you will get an option. So there you have the selection of run. You will get the same output. The third option, right? The fourth option is you can browse the program from the hierarchy. As you could see, the hierarchy, right? So select the hierarchy. You will have the list of all the programs, right? So here we have the 1.py, right? So right click 1.py and run T. You will get the output. Fine. This is the next option. And you can also have the re-execution, rerun of the program by having, okay, so that check the output compartment, the lower compartment. Again, you can see a reverse green colored triangle, inverted triangle. Okay, again, there you can check the output. Click the green reverse triangle, you will get the output. So we have a number of options to run the program. Fine, hope you have understood. Now, which will be the best out of all the options? Either selecting the menu, run menu, and click the run, or directly the icon or from the program or from the directory or from the lower compartment options. Out of all the options, the best method is to select the program. Okay, I hope you can notice the white color turn to gray when you bring the cursor near to the program. 1.5, right click and select the run option. Okay, so this will be the right appropriate method for the execution. Right? Is it clear? Any doubts? Okay. If you don't want, the output is displayed in the lower compartment. If you don't want, okay, select the run. We have the options, right? Run, problems, Python packages, terminal, and Python console. I have explained the console and terminal in the previous session. Hope you remember. If you don't want, if you want to close the output window, okay, so I hope you can notice the run. It's turned to gray because we have executed the program. That is the reason it is turned to gray. Once it is done, when the output dialog window, this part, lower compartment is no longer required, again click the run, which will disappear from the screen. Okay, if needed, click. The second click will automatically clears the screen. Right? Is it clear? Any doubts now? So it is simple as like the C editor, but with the graphical user interface facilities. Okay, fine. Let the output remains in the lower part. We want to further improve. Fine. Let us expand the snippet, the statement a bit. Okay, and let us make it now. Print, add one more statement, a print function. Okay. So please notice this when I type now. Okay. After print, I just pressed the left parenthesis. Okay. Once you type the left parenthesis, select the left parenthesis, its counterpart will appear automatically. You can ask, so why sir we cannot continue or work with the PyCharm IDLE, I mean Python console IDLE, and why you are preferring this IDE PyCharm? The reason is we have the graphical user interface environment. This environment will be very helpful. Okay, how? As we type the print, right? Once again, print nt. So could you get the support? This support, the support is popped. Okay, print int, and all you need to type the left parenthesis. Its counterpart will be displayed appended automatically. This kind of support will be available in this editors. Whereas we have to type the complete instruction in case of Python console, Python original interpreter. Fine. Not only this, even if we have the typing double quote once, will have the automatic append of adding of its counterpart, that is the another right double quotes. So which will reduce the time. Okay, simple program. By typing is good. We learn by even if mistakes, we try to get it out. But when there are applications, okay, which have several thousands of code, KLIC, thousands lines of code, are very big applications, scientific applications, mathematical applications. We need, so typing again and again will have a lot of time consumed. So such support from this IDE, from this environment, will help us to avoid the mistakes and reduce the time. That is the reason we prefer the IDEs. Okay. So we have added a blank empty print function, And one more statement. Okay. So if everything goes right, you could see something like this. The statement which have been enclosed in between double quotes have projected in different color, and the keywords are in blue, highlighted in blue. Fine. In case if we make any mistakes, okay. In case if we make any mistakes, if we by knowingly or unknowingly if we leave something mistakes, which means the statement, the snippet is incomplete, and we have the indication of okay, a red colored underline. Could you see the red underline below the statement, which means it is an indication alert. When you bring the cursor near to that part, you will get the message missing closing quote, missing closing quote. A double quote at the end of the text is missed. So that is the indication. We get a message plus the red underline. The red underline also continued in the next statement. So without which, unless the previous statement is valid, the next statement will not be executed. Is it right? So while typing itself, we'll be able to check the mistakes. Whereas the conventional C, C++, and Java, we can type the program. The errors could be found only when it is executed, isn't it? After compilation, we'll be knowing the errors, 5 errors, 10 errors. Okay, so while typing, we will not be knowing. If you are good in the programming, that's different. The errors highlighted after it is executed. Whereas these editors will highlight while typing itself and also assist us what is the mistake, missing quote, missing closing quotes. So mistakes could be easily checked and corrected while typing. So the wrong execution, the time spent for wrong execution is also saved. Fine. Okay, now run the program as select, bring the cursor near to the program name, right click and select the run options. Right, so we can right, extend the lower output window. Welcome to Python programming. Okay, a blank line, then fundamentals and basics. As you can see that empty print function does not have any arguments inside the parentheses. It's an empty function. This empty print function invocation outputs an empty line, a blank line. So this print function, print invocation outputs an empty line, or its output is just a new line. You can say it is also a new line. Fine. So a new line can be created, can have the inserted into the output with the help of a empty print function. Okay. This is not the only way to produce a new line in the output console. We have another way. We have another way. Are you aware how to insert a new line or an empty line inside the programming? So based on your understandings and experience in the C, C++, if you are aware, then you can post it in the chat window. So one option is introducing a blank or empty print function to insert a new line in the output. Yes, I have got few responses. Yes. Thank you, Mehul. Mehul has answered. Okay. Yes. \n. That's the right answer. Thank you, Mehul. Mehul has come out with that. So we can modify the program by having introducing a \n. Right now, check run the program. As you could see, two new lines are inserted in the output. So the \n has a very special meaning when used inside the strings. This is called the escape character. This is called escape character. The words escape should be understood specifically. It means that the series of characters in the string escapes for a moment. That is a very short moment to introduce a special inclusion. And the letter N placed after the backslash comes from the word new line. New line. So both the backslash and N form a special symbol that is called named a new line character. And this \n, the new line character, urges the console to start a new output line. So hence we have a blank space. Is it clear? And it is worth trying to find the print function with more than one argument. Okay, so it is a single line statement, single argument enclosed between a double quotes. We can introduce more than one argument. Okay, for example, welcome to, right? So as you could notice that welcome to, I have introduced extra double quotes and comma, and that statement is incomplete. Okay, it is incorrect. So hence we have got an underline red, underline alert. Okay, and checking then correcting it will disappear. Right, so welcome to the Python. Right. So the print function invoked with more than one argument. So here in this statement we have argument 1, argument 2 and argument 3. So instead of having a single line statement with a single argument, we can also introduce more than one in the print function. So run the program. Okay. So no matter the number of arguments inside the print function, all of them will be displayed in one line. So one outputs more than one arguments in one line. Is it clear? Okay. And Python offers another mechanism for passing the arguments, which will be helpful when we want to convince the print function. We can change the nature of the print function. We can change its behavior with the help of an arguments. The print function has two keyword arguments that is called end and separator for this purpose. Right? So for example, let us introduce one more statement, print. My name is Monty, comma, nd is equal to print Python. Okay, so for time being, let's open it in the second program. So here we have introduced one key argument, that is end. End is equal to a pair of double quotes. As I said, we can convince the print function and change the behavior bit. Right? Any guess what will be the output of this snippet? We have two statements. My name is Monty, right? we have introduced a keyword and equal to double quotes. And the next statement, we have an argument called Python. Any guess what will be the output of this statement? Yes, I have got a response from Vengat Vijay. Good. Run the program to my name is Monty Python. So the keyword end, it appends the second argument, the immediate argument, which exists inside the print function. As you see, the print function only displays a statement, instruction, or an argument that exists in between double quotes. Okay. Now, more than one arguments can be integrated, combined with the help of the keyword end. Okay. So this end, this keyword, please note, end is a keyword. Okay. This end keyword looks for the immediate argument inside the print function and connects, integrates, append with the current argument. So hence we have got my name is Monty Python. Okay. So you may also notice that the Monty Python has become a single argument, one word. If you like to have a space between Monty and Python, what can we do? Any suggestions from your side? I would like to have a blank space between Monty and Python. So here there are no space. Monty Python appears to be a single word, one string. Now I'd like to have a space, make it two words by introducing a blank space in between the Monty and Python. How can I do it? Yes, I have got few suggestions. After Monty, give a space. Fine. Yes, I introduce a tab. Okay, a new line character, right? Like similarly, a new tab. Fine. Any other suggestions from your side? So, an easy method, as again Mehul suggested, leave a space after the string Monty. Leave a space. Will achieve the purpose. That is one method. Okay. Similarly, we can leave a space before P. Okay. That will also serve the purpose. So we have one more option. The keyword end is equal to double quotes. If we have a blank space, will it work? Yes, it worked. A blank space in between the double quotes, which means appended after my name is Monty, the keyword end connects the next argument and append after a blank space. Okay, so that is the one kind, and we have another kind that is called separate, SEP. Okay, so for example, let us introduce one more statement. Okay. So the next keyword is utilization of the key SEP, right? So this keyword could be used to introduce the special characters in between the arguments. Okay. So for example, right? So run the program. What's your observation here? What does the separate keyword, what does it do? It introduces the symbol, a special symbol between each argument, good morning, hyphen, and hyphen, welcome to Python, hyphen, online session. So the nature of the print function can be changed. The behavior can be changed with the introduction of two keyword arguments that are end and separator. So this we can have any kind of special symbols. So instead of hyphen, we can also introduce a hash symbol, asterisk, ampersand, or any kind of symbol. Okay. Similarly, if we like to leave any blank spaces, that will also work. Got it. So the print function has two keyword arguments, end and separator, to convince it and change the behavior of the state functions. Right? Is it clear? Any doubts? Okay. So in this session, we have discussed the print function, right? A print function is mainly used to print the functions, and they are more flexible and able to cause some effects, right? And also evaluate a value or some values. These functions come from three places. One itself, number two, the form of adds-on, which are called modules, and user-defined functions. Okay, we can have the interaction of introduce an empty line by having a print function, so which is similar to a new line function, right? By having a backslash and the letter n, right? And the function of print could be also changed. The behavior can be changed a bit by introducing again two keyword arguments and a separator, right? Right. So that's about the print function. And in the next session, we'll be discussing about the literals. If you have any doubts, then you may please unmute yourself and connect with us.